morning, San Francisco.
San Francisco. Yes, and
We're ready for you. Are you ready for us?
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. So
We're going to do the skip the bus tour. It's a 4-hour tour starting at Pier 39. Seeing all of the famous sites in San Francisco.
excellent. How are we going to get there?
Well, we're going to walk a certain amount, maybe take a trolley. Got to have some breakfast.
Yes.
We have not eaten since last night,
Which is
it's
highly unusual.
hardly unusual. So, anyway, we're in store for this is the last full day of the vacation.
Yes. What about the rooster then? Where the rooster's in the car? Here's where we are, Pier 39. I'm going to get breakfast. Jay is posing in front of the big crab.
Oh, an angel eye. Okay.
Which is
Which is out that way, which is another mile that way instead of
Yeah, so that big green hill
Alcatraz.
behind it is called Angel Island, which used to be a military base. Then it was the Japanese internment camps, and it was also like our equivalent of Ellis Island when immigrants first came to the West Coast.
Here we
So
go.
at some point today, you're going to start to see the Blue Angels all around the city.
Well, we saw them in
Sacramento.
Sacramento or in Folsom is where we were 2 days ago, and they were out practicing, and we were watching this.
So they should be here today.
Oh, that was great.
Okay.
This time last year, my group got lucky. We were underneath the Golden Gate Bridge, and they flew in formation under the bridge.
Oh wow!
Oh, gosh. How cool is that?
They wanted to make
Lombard Street.
like that, and they realized that it was downhill because it was such a steep road.
Look, there's a guy coming
So
down.
they're kind of making switchbacks, basically.
You
I
mentioned,
kind of wish they did the whole city.
and then behind it is the Coit Tower, which Brian told us about. There it goes.
A slow day, this will have 500,000 cars a day.
500,000.
Golden Gate gets about 200,000.
This is a busier bridge then?
Much busier bridge. The amount of Michelin-rated restaurants.
Little.
But things you won't find in San Francisco are fast food. It's banned in almost every neighborhood. Gas stations are very hard to find, and there's no Walmarts or any of that type stuff around. But we're gonna do a loop here and come right back through this part of the neighborhood. But in the 1950s, this neighborhood was known for what they called the beatnik generation.
Okay.
All the famous authors and poets, Allen Ginsberg, Jack Kerouac, they all hung out in this cafe here on the right. And have you ever heard of the artist Banksy?
Yes.
That's a Banksy across the street,
Oh,
up on that third
where?
floor.
Oh, right up there.
And the white wall across the
Yeah.
street up.
Yes.
Yeah.
We had 6 Banksys in the city, but people obviously take the walls. Now we have 4.
Banksy did that.
And the guy that owns that wall has been offered $2 million for it, and he won't cut it out.
So if at first you don't succeed, call my what?
Call an airstrike.
Oh, call me.
Yeah.
Building.
Do you know our winter just ended, though? So, San Francisco's winter is June, July, and August. Yeah, it's what we call Foggist. It's our foggiest months. So with this being Silicon Valley, they're always testing new stuff. One kind of futuristic thing. Have you heard of the Amazon Go stores?
No.
So Seattle has one, Chicago has one. We have 3 just down here. You need an app to get in the door. As soon as you walk in, hundreds of cameras follow your every movement. If you take anything off a shelf, it adds it to your bill. If you put it back, it takes it off your bill. And as soon as you walk out the store, it charges your card. So there's no cashiers, no lines. You just walk in, take stuff, and walk right out. This first street we're going to go down, I'm probably the only tour that can take you down here because they aren't allowed down here. But this is the prettier of the 2 streets. This is called Grant Street. When we go down it, you'll notice all the light poles have dragons on them. These first few shops, be careful walking around because there's a lot of breakable items. I think they do it on purpose. You have to break it and buy it.
Now let me ask you, what brought the Chinese here?
Originally with the railroads.
That's what I wondered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So another quick thing is a lot of these businesses say going out of business still. They've been saying that for 20 years.
Yeah.
So ignore that. But this neighborhood usually starts waking up about 10:30, so it's still a little quiet.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the original settlers were the original railroad and tunnel builders.
Yeah.
So they continued building a lot of tunnels in this neighborhood. And they used them as opium dens and brothels. And to this day, they still discover new tunnels all the time in this part of the city. But do you know what famous Chinese food was invented in San Francisco, not in China?
Probably the egg or the
Fortune cookie.
fortune cookie. Yeah.
Fortune cookie.
So in the 1800s, that was actually invented by a Japanese guy.
Really?
Yeah, everyone thought he was Chinese, so he just went with it and said it was a mythical Chinese food. Their rent is going from $8,000 to $17,000 a month. So
Here's one of the traditional.
I don't blame them.
These are the trolleys.
Cable cars.
Cable car.
Now that's not electric though. That one, or is it?
Underground is electric, so there's constantly a cable moving at 7.5 miles per hour.
Okay.
So you'll notice he just pulls this lever.
Oh, okay.
That hooks on the cable and then
Okay.
starts dragging. them.
Okay, so that's what it is electric, but it's underneath it.
Okay. You'll see a lot of murals in this neighborhood. You'll see a lot of murals of Bruce Lee's face.
Oh.
He spent most of his life in this neighborhood.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he was born over in the Oakland, Alameda area, and he's buried up in Seattle area. So a lot of people like to walk from Union Square right through Chinatown, right through Little Italy, and end up at Pier 39 down here. So in a second, you'll see some cars going this way in front of us. I think they must be stuck at a stoplight. Yeah, you can see them up there. So that's Little Italy just right there in
Yes,
front.
yes, yes.
Well, we have Amazon Now here, where we can get anything off Amazon in 1 hour. So you can get it delivered for free in 2 hours or pay $5 and get it in 1 hour.
Wow.
I'd say you can get maybe 80% of items off Amazon in that time.
Wow.
Amazon Now.
I think there's only 3 cities that have it right now.
Amazon Prime's not good enough.
Yeah.
We don't need it.
People don't want to wait 2 days here.
There's Macy's.
Yeah, there's Apple. There's Nike.
City Hall.
If you get a chance at nighttime, look at this building. They light it up every night for different world events. So if another city's having a holiday or disaster, we'll light it up for them. It's even been lit up for Ireland a few times.
Probably green. Isn't it?
Yeah. St. Patrick's Day.
So these are the 7 painted ladies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Isn't magic?
They're very famous landmarks in San Francisco.
Actually means any row of Victorians with 3 or more colors.
Okay.
So technically there's painted ladies all over the city. It's just everyone associates with those over there.
Yes.
I mean, like these on the left are technically painted ladies. I think these have more detail than the famous painted ladies.
Right.
But even this one, the green one and the pink, or sorry, the purple and pink one.
Charleston.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
That painted, it was something, there was a name for the houses that were along the waterfront
In Charleston.
in Charleston.
This is the Adams family home.
Yeah.
So that is...
red-tailed hawk. I'm getting a couple of points for that one.
No points.
He's been over here the last 2 days harassing the crows.
You couldn't get in.
No, most garages are pointless in this city.
Yeah. Well, they just become storage places, don't they?
They do, but the city's encouraging people to use them as housing. But the big building coming up on the right, if you've ever been to the UK, which you guys have,
Yeah.
this is a replica of Kew Gardens.
Oh, very good.
Now, this is the oldest, largest wooden botanical garden in America. At nighttime, they light the whole building up in 3D psychedelic colors. It's cheap to go in there. It's only like $3 or $4 to explore that place.
Mm-hmm.
The famous corpse flowers in there.
Yeah.
Inside that building, though, you have a planetarium, an aquarium, a rainforest room full of butterflies, simulated earthquake rooms, albino alligators, 3D movies, dinosaurs. You got a lot going on in that building.
What's this on the right?
Now, on the right is the De Young Museum. Beautiful. They used to pump water for nearby farms, but the internals were badly damaged on the earthquakes. And this is actually one of the most dangerous beaches in California because of the currents. Yeah.
You got people out there surfing, I think.
Yeah.
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 You get a lot of people that aren't from here that don't know that.
Yeah.
Because in front of us, the closest thing besides Hawaii is a chain of islands 33 miles off the coast called the Farallon Islands.
Yes.
Up until the 60s, it was a nuclear waste dump. Now it's a bird sanctuary.
Better.
Pretty sure there's a Godzilla situation happening out there. So just based off the way that water looks in the middle, there might be something pushing water up right there.
Absolutely, 100%. I saw the black and the white. I saw the blowhole. And then
Well, he's going to come back up.
he is.
He found one of the.
There, look, look.
Oh,
look.
there he was.
There,
I
look,
see that.
Look. Yeah. It's a baby ray whale. Big enough for me.
Denise,
Yeah.
when we were at San Diego, we came north of San Diego because there was a bunch.
Between the houses. It's like the only neighborhood like this.
It's my least favorite architecture that we've seen.
Oh, I kind of like what they got
You
here.
get the Korean embassy there.
Oh,
But what makes a lot of these houses so expensive is the ones we're going to see in a minute on this side, their backyards view the Golden Gate Bridge.
Oh,
Ah, it's the view.
And a majority of these have beaches behind their backyards. That was Robin Williams' old house.
right there.
This one?
Yeah.
Whereabouts?
Here.
pink-
Is
bright
his
pink
wife
one.
live there now?
You know, I don't know who owns this house.
The lights are on.
About once a month, they'll have a massive party here, and I've never seen so much security in my life. They block everything off. Like every 5 feet is someone with like a suit and an earpiece.
Wow.
This is the only National Park Service land that doesn't need government funding. Because there's 1,800 homes and buildings here in the Presidio they rent out to anybody.
There's your ship now coming.
Yeah, we're gonna catch it just in time. Do you know what color the Golden Gate Bridge was supposed to be?
I guess it'd be gold.
No. The Navy insisted on yellow and black stripes so they wouldn't hit it in the fog.
No.
Oh,
The color you see now is international orange. This was the original primer color when they shipped the steel here.
Right, yeah.
So now there's 28 painters painting the bridge every day but Christmas. They get to one side, they basically got to go back to the other side. So it's never-ending painting on this bridge. Yeah, the name Golden Gate Bridge has nothing to do with the color. Actually, quick note, there's some old army bunkers in these hills, old nuclear missile silos with gunner turrets. Yeah, the only reason this is Golden Gate Bridge is this was the gateway to the gold rush. And one of the first army generals in this area named this the Golden Straits because he thought this reminded him of Istanbul, the Golden Straits there. A lot of people don't realize you can actually go underneath the bridge here.
There's
I
Alcatraz.
didn't realize you could just see Alcatraz.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Well, maybe not everywhere, but
Anywhere from over here.
We're getting the great
I mean, you're
visibility.
a mile away, and you think that's a long way, and it's not.
This hill is what I call Regret Hill. This is where
Yes.
people regret renting bicycles.
Who we kid?
Like that little boy.
Yeah, they always push them right here. Oh, this lady's rocking it so far. I don't think she's going to make it the whole way, though.
Yeah, there's a
No.
kid sleeping in the back.
Regret Hill.
Every day I watch people. I've seen a lot of vacations and relationships ruined on this hill. a lot of couples arguing down here,
You made me do it.
especially the ones on the tandems. I think we beat
Those
that.
are called divorce makers.
Yeah,
There's the boat.
we beat it.
Oh, wow.
Now, from the bottom of that bridge to the water, you can put a 22-story tall building.
That's amazing that that's that high.
Up until 1995, this was the highest bridge over water until Mexico built a new one. For 40 years, this was the longest suspension bridge in the world. Now, a lot of people don't realize directly underneath the Golden Gate Bridge is an old army fort called Fort Point. This thing was built in 1852 during the Civil War. Along this fence is the only place I can't pull over. I'll take my chances with regular police, but these bridge police and park rangers I don't mess with. They don't mess around with this bridge down here. In fact, if you fly a drone near this bridge, it's an automatic $10,000 fine.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's no messing.
Oh, they catch you. Oh,
You
yeah.
always saw what you can do with a drone in Saudi Arabia, right? You can shoot
Yeah.
stuff down.
There's more cameras down here than you realize.
I'm sure.
And you got around 11 different police agencies watching this bridge. I mean, you have the Coast Guard, you have the Bridge Police, the Highway Patrol.
So they're worried about terrorism? Is that what they're
Yeah.
worried about?
Everything, that's it. There we are. We're underneath the Golden Gate Bridge. There's Andrea. Taking her photographs. Looking good. Sausalito. And the big container ship we saw coming through. Alcatraz. And then the city.
The messed up part, the way they designed the events, they're designed to move. The theory is a lot of dog walkers, a lot of runners. Most of our marathons and triathlons start and stop down here.
Oh, there's a perfect picture of Alcatraz right there.
Yeah, Alcatraz out front.
Yeah.
Now, out past the trees on the left is a little skinny piece of land out in the water. It's called the wave organ. And in the early 80s, they put these pipes and old headstones out there, and when high tide hits it, it plays music.
Oh.
So if you're down here and you can't figure out where music's coming from, it's from the ocean making it.
So the building we're going to see now is the Palace of Fine Arts. And it's quite a construction. Wow, look. That's beautiful. It's beautiful. Built in 1915 for trade fair. It's quite a building, isn't it? Alright, we got a turtle here. We got a turtle. Add that to the list of all the other things we've seen this holiday.
It's really quiet today, actually. Might get a traffic jam with a cable car. We'll see in a minute. Now, when we first start going down the road, you'll see the walls are all messed up. That's because people try to drive down this using selfie sticks and they hit the walls.
Oh, that's funny.
It's actually a really big problem at the moment. I can hear the cable car coming. You can see Coit Tower where we started.
Yes, yes, yes.
And is that the what is this right in front of us?
the Bay Bridge.
That's the Bay Bridge right there?
That's the new section. You can see the old section
Yes.
popping up behind the tree back
Yeah.
there. I guess the cable car is not coming.
No, you're fine. Is it? Lombard?
It is Lombard.
Oh my,
Imagine if you did the whole city like this.
no.
What I like about this road is, here in a second, look at these driveways. How are you getting a car in any of these garages?
Oh well. Yeah, you don't.
Every garage is pointless on this street.
Or a motorcycle.
It's just a very hard road to get a good photo of.
You just need a lot of skill.
Yeah, or a drone. I mean, even looking up behind us, you can't see anything.
These people must get, the people who live here must get sick of the tourists.
You know, I don't feel bad for them. I really don't. They complain more than anyone in the city, but they knew what they were getting into.
Yes.
It's not like this all of a sudden showed up one day.
No.
I think their plan of a reservation system is going to backfire on them. Because you're going to get half the cars up here won't know about it.
Here's a place for sale.
You guys should
And
snatch it up.
I just wonder if is it really the driving that's bad? You got as many people walking too.
It's equal.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's bumper to bumper. Sometimes you can't even see these walls. There's just so many people coming up and down. You don't even see the intersection at the bottom. There's just a crowd of people. Like today is super quiet here. But yeah, I wish they did the whole city like this. I mentioned earlier, but on the left here in just a second is the house for 58 million.
No.
Is it? Alarm just went off. It was 1:10.
So you can't really see the house, but you can see the underground parking garage. This is for 58 million.
This
This little.
This little skinny property goes up.
What makes it so significant?
The house up top has amazing views. It's like a very futuristic house where you can push a button and all the walls open up like glass walls.
Huh.
It's a really like outdoor concept. Has a 2-story art gallery, 2-story nightclub. But what I find funny is it's all outdoor kitchen and everything.
Oh?
It's right across the street from a loud elementary of screaming kids all day.
Yeah.
You see that building at the end down there?
Yeah.
Go in there. It's a free museum with some of the oldest arcade games in the world and different things you can kind of play with.
Okay.
But if you walk around here with any type of food, like the clam chowder or bread bowls or anything, be very careful because the seagulls will attack you.
Okay.
They work in teams.
They work in teams.
One will distract you and one will come up. You can watch Bodine's there.
and bread.
Lolita. Lolita. She has come to haunt us. So get down the bottom of the boardwalk.
Let's focus.
Around
What are they doing there?
oh my gosh.
Yeah. Some of them.
I saw them first.
You saw them first?
So 1,400 sea lions is worth more than one whale.
No, it doesn't trump the whale. The whale. The whale wins. How many of these things there are there?
Okay, but the whale doesn't beat the turtle.
I need to do a close in on one of these ugly boys. These bad boys. This is where we've just eaten our pizza, Tony's Pizza. Tony's Pizza is in the North Beach area of San Francisco, and he's a world champion. World champion at making pizzas. Would you believe it? Anyway, time now to go back and get our cars, get our bags, and then head to the next one. Stinking Rose.
I think they got it with
We season our garlic with food, huh? Excellent. There's some building. They're all immense buildings. And then we've got this one here. It's the one that... Here they come. Following all the rules. Of course, Ashley breaks the rules. Just some...
This is what you're striving for.
There's the top of that building.
So.
All four of us did. They shopped and shopped and shopped until the fried bread place opened, and then we went down and checked into the hotel.
No, we went to Monument Valley.
Oh, that's right. We went to Monument Valley.
We stopped at McDonald's and had coffee.
And stopped at McDonald's, had coffee and chips. Then we went to Monument Valley. Did the dirt road.
The dirt road.
And then
Your car has it
the same sense. Then we got to Page and we hiked the Horseshoe Trail.
Horseshoe Bend.
And then we went there that night and we had we only did one
The
eater.
Buffalo Burger.
Yeah, that night we had.
Could have been, yeah.
We went to Slackers.
Slackers,
Went
yeah.
to Slackers
Yes, that's
and then
right.
burgers and
right.
and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So then the next day,
And ice cream.
and we had ice cream next
and
door.
watched a little bit of
The Wizard of Oz.
on the TV.
That's right.
Then the next day we left and we did Antelope Canyon.
We did the bridge first.
Oh, we saw the bridge. Oh yeah, we
What
did
bridge?
the bridge and looked at that. Then we came back to Antelope Canyon.
That's right, that's right, that's
Yeah,
right.
that's not on the shirt.
That was an extra.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
an extra.
We drove across Lake Powell Bridge
Yeah.
and took some pictures.
Yeah.
But then on the way after Antelope Canyon, we did the other bridge where you saw
Where you allegedly
That's
saw the
California
California condors. And then we went on to North Rim, Grand Canyon, and just did Angel Point, a few of those points. Went out there to whatever that one is, the Royal Bridge, or no, what was that? Whatever it was, the one place on the end.
Yes.
And then we came back and went on up to almost hit a cow, and we made it to Canaan.
Can you tell me what animals you saw?
I saw the bear.
Woo!
Two bears, two baby bears. That was me. I saw the bear.
Jay!
Saw the big horse. What did you
I saw the buffaloes. Ooh. Ashley, you tell us what you saw.
I saw the squirrels. I saw the squirrels in the temple. I saw the whale today. I saw the whale, the grey whale.
Well,
I saw
the turtle.
Yeah, I also saw the red-tailed hawk. Red-tailed hawk. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw the otters. I saw lots of things. I saw the coyotes. Yeah, and there were things I'd forgotten about. Yeah.
okay.
In terms of animal spotting, I won most days.
When you looked at the aha moments, Zion National Park was spectacular.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I thought Yosemite was spectacular as well. Bryce was less spectacular than those. Even Rocky Mountain National Park has some really beautiful things in it as well. So Arches is different, but I like it. It's different in its own way. The Garden of the Gods is so strange, because also you drive up here and you have this stuff there. And so that was kind of cool.
What was Denise's special moments?
I think my favorite park was Antelope Canyon.
Oh, that's
It's so different than anything else.
Yeah.
I thought it was shopping with Andrea.
Shopping, well, that was always
Magnets and Christmas
Magnus
decorations.
was one of it. And now every year that I decorate my Christmas tree, and whenever I open my refrigerator, I'm gonna think about this tree. What about you?
Ooh, my special moment. There's so many. I think it's just been an amazing trip from start to finish, and I think I didn't think it would be as good as what it was. I think everything's excelled more than what I anticipated or ever thought it would be like. It's just I've seen so much of America. I've seen what the real America is like. I've seen, the nature, the environment. I've seen the good. I've seen the bad.
Into the spectrum.
So there you go. I did enjoy Antelope Canyon. It was really, really good. I really enjoyed Zion as well.
I think because I had talked to Jay a lot about the planning and places we were going to, so I knew what the places were going to be like. I had a good idea, but some of them, it's different when you touch it and feel it. There's no doubt about it. Like, even just some of the hills and the colours of the mountains and the views, some of the photographs are just absolutely spectacular.
So, what day is it today, Jay?
It's day 22,
Yes.
the final departure. We're headed to the airport.
Yes.
Then you get a nice leisurely flight to Philadelphia, and we have that awful drive back to Denver.
I feel sorry for you.
So it's been a great trip
It has.
Been fantastic.
Definitely.
for the last time.